why is it so important?
Yeah, so to me, work ethic is your personal values that drive the way you work. So when you say there's somebody who has a very very high level of work ethic, what that means is that that person has their set of personal values which are defining their work style. To me, it is extremely important. And why it is important is because I have seen in my 20 years people who operate with the highest level of work ethic are the ones who are successful in the organization. There are a lot of people who do not have very high sense of values or work ethic, and while they may get some instant gratification or some short-term success, in the long run, I have seen that it's not really paid off for them. So what really defines a professional is the work ethic with which they operate.
Well said, ma'am. Work ethics and success truly are highly correlated terms. You have been an HR professional for more than 20 years now. Playing this role, I imagine you might have came across various situations involving ethical considerations. So how do you typically navigate through and approach these kind of situations?
Yeah, so I would say there have been countless situations where I have had to take some tough actions on people because of ethical violations. And one of the things that one must remember is that as HR or even as a senior leader in the organization, you are actually the custodian of the values of the company, and you have to hold them in very high regard. There will be times when people do silly things, right? And we're talking about human beings here, and to err is human is what they say, right? So there will be people who will do silly things. There would be somebody who would be involved in, say, fraud, or say a sexual harassment, or maybe some kind of misappropriation of funds, and so on and so forth. I think as an organization, you have to be extremely clear in terms of what is right and what is wrong, what's ethical and what's not. And as an individual or as a leader in the organization, you have to prepare yourself to have difficult conversations. Not every time are you going to have conversations with your team members that are going to be pleasant or that are going to only convey good news. A major part as a leader or as an HR professional, most communications that you may have to do are not so pleasant, are not easy to convey. They are conversations which are not going to go well down with the other person that you're talking to. But I think it's just a matter of being convinced, having the conviction that what you're doing is the right thing, and what the other person has done is not so right from an organization perspective. Be clear in your conscience, okay? Don't be apologetic, right? Because it's not personal. It's not like I have anything against the individual with whom I'm conveying a bad news. It's about what he or she have done which have violated the company policy. So just be prepared to have that conviction, and be ready and prepare yourself to have difficult conversations.
Well, I think that now all of us will agree that it surely requires one to maintain balance and stay committed towards fairness to navigate through such kind of situations. Building on that, I would like to know more about the positive impacts that work ethics have on the organization and an individual, and how they are benefited by following these ethics in a workplace.
Yeah, so I think, needless to say that, a company which has a high sense of ethics and values will always be a company where an individual will feel psychologically safe. If you guys have heard about this terminology, psychologically safe, what it means is that they would feel good to come to your workplace every day in the morning. They will feel safe, they will feel respected, and they will know that I work for a company that stands for the right things, right? So I think the individual most important advantage to an employee is that an ethical company will always be a company where they will feel psychologically safe to come back every day. From an organization perspective, I think there are many advantages, right? An ethical organization is an organization where the stakeholders, it could be the shareholders, it could be the customers, it could be the community, it could be the suppliers. All your stakeholders will feel happy to be part of your working relationship with that company, because they know that this company stands for ethics, this company stands for what is right, and they would want to do business with you. Some of the other advantages that a company may have where it comes to following ethics is that a lot of people may want to work with you, because by word of mouth it would be clear that, hey, this company is a company that is an ethical company, so you would automatically